Hi everybody, my name is Joshua, and welcome back to Dark Earth Customs and Shop Talk. I wasn't planning on making a video. This one might be a little more serious than just my car videos, because this isn't going to be a car video today. We're going to be talking about a subject. And it's a subject that I imagine pretty much everybody has already heard about, unless they've been living under a rock. And that is the Nashville shooting and the trans aspect of it. So, this one's a bit complex. You have a trans shooter, and that trans shooter went into a Christian school and shot and killed people. And of course now, everyone, at least on the left side of the aisle, is blaming the people that got shot for getting shot. They care more about the evil trans person and what pronouns are being used, while they debate how this poor person was treated by this Christian school and teachers and people. And basically, they're blaming the people that got shot for making this person crazy. Here's my aspect. I am a conservative Christian, as are many in the Republican Party. I can tell you right now that the left is lying to you blatantly. They are saying things like, we want all trans people to die, or we don't want them to exist, or any number of insane things. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. We have no want. There is not a single Republican or conservative or any single person on the right that wants the trans community to die. That is an outright lie perpetrated by the left to keep the war going that they want while they work to destroy America. Now, is there a problem with the trans community? As a conservative Christian, I believe yes. It's not a problem that doesn't have an answer. But the answer isn't what they're going to like. Now, the Methodist Church, the United Church of Christ, and numerous other churches are welcoming the trans people into the church, which is fine. But they're allowing them to be pastors and members of the church that holds power. Well, that's not fine, because that's not godly, and neither is being a trans. Look, I'm not perfect. I haven't been perfect. I won't be perfect, and I can't be perfect, because every single person in this world is born into sin, period. But they believe that they can just go ahead and do what they feel like and not have consequences for it. They feel that being a trans is okay, and it's written in the Bible that it's okay, and it's not. In Genesis, the beginning of the Bible, God says that He created male and female in the likeness of His own image. And if that's the case, and God is perfect and doesn't make mistakes, then it is impossible for a person to be born, considering God said, I knew you before you were born, in aspect of our souls. It is impossible for a male or female to be born into this world and be the wrong sex. It is 100% illogical and impossible and completely against every single word in the Bible. They can twist it as much as they want, but it won't make it right. I have no problems with the trans community. I don't want harm on any of them, and neither does any other conservative. But we have to put our foot down. We have to stop catering to these people. We have to stop using their pronouns. All we are doing is digging a deeper hole by catering to them. Now, I have a unique touch to this area, and that will happen in a later video with my brother. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to let him tell his story. But I will say that people have come back, detransitioned, for one reason or another, knowing that what they were doing was wrong. And when you have all these trans people that are depressed, upset, suicidal, homicidal, because there have been countless videos on YouTube and TikTok from the trans community saying they want to kill Christians, yet they can go and do whatever they want. If a Christian said that, that person would be arrested that same day. If we don't stop catering to them, they are going to dig a deeper and deeper and deeper hole until they get their way, because we will not be able to dig out of it. As it stands, Governor Tim Walz here in Minnesota has made this state a sanctuary state for trans people. So if you even say something negative to one of them, you can be arrested. He has made this state a sanctuary state for abortion. So a mother could be here in Minnesota in the hospital hours away from giving birth, and she could say, I don't want this baby anymore, and they could abort it, or in my words, murder it, hours from delivery. Minnesota has become a den of Satan, and the politicians are just bending their knees to evil. Trans people are not the problem. Their mentality is the problem. They are extremely unstable in their own words. They have said this. They are depressed. Again, depressed, homicidal, suicidal. They're in need of severe mental health. Now we have the President of the United States and his not doctor wife that is basically stating that the trans community will have full backing of the U.S. government to do whatever they want to do. So, in that case, you get Nashville, where a trans person gets guns and shoots Christians and gets praised after shooting Christians. That's where we're at. In the Old Testament, in the Bible, in Leviticus 18:22, God says it is wrong for a man to sleep with another man. It is an abomination. That means that God says it is wrong to be gay. And for those of you that don't know Christianity, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit are the same. God is God. Jesus is God in the flesh. And the Holy Spirit is God in spirit form. So, if God says being wrong, if God says being gay is wrong, then it's wrong. Christians need to be careful. We really need to be careful now. Not only in what we say, but how we act. Because now they're going to start using our words to imprison us. They're going to say, you said something mean about this trans person or this gay person, and that's illegal, and so now you're going to jail. In America, I was certain that we had something called the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. But not in a Democrat society where freedom of speech is pretty much outlawed. I grew up in a time when people joked about each other, and people had a sense of humor. It didn't matter what race, creed, religion, or anything about you. Everybody joked about everybody else. Ethnic humor was just kind of the standard, because we all had a sense of humor, we all knew it was a joke, and nobody took any of it seriously. But that's not the case now. If the trans and gay community has the government's support on doing whatever they want to do, and they're going to get away with it, they're going to get away with it. And that includes killing more Christians. I am not, and repeat, not calling for any retaliation. I do not believe in that. There is absolutely no reason for that. But we have to start waking these people up. We have to start waking these people up to the lifestyle they're living, because all these drag queens, all these trans people, all these gays, they're going to end up in hell. Plain and simple, that is God's law, that is God's word, they will be going to hell. I find it stunning that they're willing to go after the Christians. But the Muslim community, who in the Middle East still stones gays to death, not one word is said. Being gay over in the Middle East is even worse. I mean, at least here it's accepted. Over there it's not at all, ever. But it's okay to go after the Christians. Now, the government is doing exactly what they planned on. They want all of us fighting and bickering among each other and not looking at what the government is doing. And I'm not calling for a retaliation against the government either. Not one bit. But we have to take this head on, and we have to start teaching these people what they're doing is wrong. What they're doing will give them an eternity in hell. Some may not come back, some may, but to be able to save as many souls as we can before the end comes is our calling. We as Christians need to bring people to God. And don't get me wrong, I'm just as much of a screw-up as everyone else. I've made my share of mistakes, I still make mistakes, and I will make mistakes every day of my life, because that's just part of being human. But at the end of the day, you pray, you ask God for forgiveness, and you fight the fight and struggle to move on and get past it. It's easy to say, it's much harder to do. There are many factors that have been theoretically led to reasons why the gay population is increasing. I'm not going to get into that in this video. There's tons of videos all over YouTube as to why potentially I have my beliefs. I believe from the studying I've done I'm right. Regardless of how it happens, regardless of how their mental patterns change, people like Dylan Mulvaney, who says he's a Christian, and is one of the biggest trans names out there right now. He's not a Christian. A lot of people are playing Christian. Just because you say you believe in God doesn't mean you do. I have seen Dylan's face at times when he talks about it. I can see the struggle in his face. He's having a mental struggle. He doesn't know how to deal with it. And a lot of these people don't. If we don't work to change this, there's going to be a lot of people lost. There's going to be a lot of people going to hell. I put up videos in my YouTube account on how to prove that Christianity is the only religion out there. How to prove that the Christian God is the only real God. If you're interested, if you want to know more, watch those videos. I had one video banned by YouTube already. I'm not exactly sure why. I appealed and I lost. I will hopefully try to get it back up at one point. Maybe change some wording around. The biggest thing we need to do for these people, I guess, is pray. Pray to God to change their heart, and talk to them to change their heart, and to show them what they're doing is wrong. But to all my Christian brethren out there, you also need to watch your back. Seriously. Because I think things are about to get worse. I think the Nashville shooting was just the beginning. I think there's going to be numerous other attacks on Christians. It's all prophesied. Christians will be hated and persecuted all the more, and you need to be careful. It's hard to pray for people that hate you. It's hard to pray for people that want to kill you. It's hard to pray for people that don't want you to exist on planet Earth. But they're the brainwashed ones. The Christians aren't. We know the score. And we win in the end. God wins. But a lot of people won't. I've had my own spiritual struggle for many years. Believe me. It's not easy. It is a fight all the time. But I keep working at it. When people's will to live in their own sin is greater than their will to want to be a godly person, you get a sinful nature, which is unfortunately what the trans community is dealing with now. There is one trans that I will name, and that is Blair White. Now, I don't agree with Blair on the whole trans thing. But Blair is a Republican, and Blair has his own YouTube channel also. He is a she, and again, although I don't agree with Blair's lifestyle, Blair also has it pretty square on the head on what's going on in the trans community too. I gotta imagine there's more than one trans out there, but at least from what I've seen, there's only one trans out there that's on our side, and that's Blair. Yeah. I don't know what much more to say. You know, it seems like the government wants open season on Christians, and it sure seems that way. And the trans and gay community are gonna, from what it seems like the government is allowing, that they're gonna just let them do whatever they want to the Christians. Though I don't agree with the Muslims either, because I'm a Christian. I'll tell you, they get rid of the Christians, Muslims are next. They want a godless society. Well, you know, I think I've spoken my piece. I think I've said what I wanted to say. Conservatives and Republicans are not out there to hurt anyone or harm anyone or limit anyone's freedom. But we want the same freedoms allocated to others to be allowed to us. Christians just want to be able to live free. Conservatives just want to be able to live free. Conservatives want freedom for all, not just freedom for some. Democrats just want freedom for some. Democrats started the KKK. The Democrats voted completely against the Civil Rights Act for minorities. A Republican freed the slaves. Republicans voted for the Civil Rights Act for minorities. You have generations of brainwashed people in this nation, and we need to take it back, not through force, but through learning, through education, through showing the people that are brainwashed that they've been brainwashed, which is going to be a hard job. This country used to be a bastion for freedom for everyone, no matter who they were. Now it's a bastion for freedom for Democrats and a horror show for conservatives. Well, anyway, everybody, I'm kind of rambling on. Christians, be careful, because the trans community wants us gone. Use education and learning to take them back. We don't want retaliation, and we don't want war. Democrats want a war, but not Republicans. We just want everybody to live happy and free. So everybody, learn, study, find out whatever you need to find out to speak out against what's going on. Try to bring as many of these trans people and gays back to us. Show them the way, the Christian way, the eternal way, and show them that they will have eternity with God if they change their way. Later on in the spring, I'm going to do an interview with my brother, and you'll find out more about that later on when I do that. Right now it's April 2nd. It is horrendously snowy out here, but it is a nice balmy 40 degrees. It's almost t-shirt weather. 50 would be good enough for t-shirts, but of course up here in the Midwest we just keep getting pummeled by snowstorms, and more snow is on the way, and probably after that more snow will be on the way. I know I got my car to work on. I got cars, plural, to work on. Boats, all sorts of projects and toys to work on. But when everything is in a winter lockdown, it's really hard to do things. And that's why I haven't been posting for a few weeks now, probably. It's just so hard to get things going when it's 10 degrees up and when there's 3 feet of snow with more coming everywhere you look. But I will at least try to keep you guys updated with things, or talk about different subjects or whatnot. I'm not even sure right now. I want to get back to the Thunderbird soon. I don't see that happening for probably a couple more weeks, because it is just, the snow just will not give up. So, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna pray about all you guys tonight, and we just need to work at trying to save as many people as we can, not through force, but through teaching what Jesus did. Jesus brought the people to him by teaching them what they were doing was wrong. So that's what we need to do, is to teach the Democrats, teach the liberals, teach the trans, and the gays, and the alphabet soup LGBTQIA plus minus divided by people. Don't use their pronouns. Don't give in. Don't. You have to make it hard for them. You gotta let them know you're not gonna bend a knee to their insanity, because it is a mental illness, just like a lot of things are. But it can be changed. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot more of these Nashville type shootings. So, I'll see you all later. Goodbye for now. And have a good night.